Netball, the final game of round 10. And here's the two lineups between the West Coast Fever and the New South Wales Swifts. No surprises, the big names are out on the court. Caitlin Bassett.
That's right, Sue. Shanice Beckford back in that goal attack position. Kelsey Brown the centre. Fran Williams gets the goalkeeper start today. And we see Liv Wilkinson, Katie Anderhaney and Jordan Crownsberg rounding out the bench. And over to the Swift side, well, they are starting the same way they finished. No changes last week. Paige Hadley, Maddie Proud, the two co-captains in that middle, are going to be dangerous today. And we see Lily Gorman-Brown, Tegan O'Shannessy and Grace White, who we might see out on court too today.
They are your team cards, brought to you by Woolworths. So, the Fever hosting the Swifts with the first centre pass, 16 goals. They beat the Swifts by last time, but this is a different time of the season where both sides are a little sharper. However, the Fever looking to bounce back with the first goal. The Swifts last week, they were far more impressive than what they've been. The return of Maddie Proud in at the centre. Hadley at the top. And Sunday Ariang, that is the battle that we cannot ignore. Sunday Ariang and Helen Housby.
Yeah, last time these two teams met. Oh, what a fantastic rebound there from Fran Williams. Great opportunity here for the Fever. Last time Sunday Ariang came up against Helen Housby, she kept her to just 3 goals, which is absolutely unheard of. So probably looking to emulate a performance like that again today.
Fowler out of the circle, has to swing to find Teague Neal. So they've turned the ball over with a rebound. And they'll pop the first 2 of the game in and please their coach Dan Ryan. There's Fran Williams on the Harvey Norman replay. And Sus, the captain in at wing defence. It's the job on Paige Hadley.
Oh, that was confident ball there. Shanice Beckford was out in front. Janelle Fallon-Emma, just a little miss there. She had 2 players back on her, but the confidence just to pop that ball straight over into her hands, I think is early signs what the target is going to be for the Fever.
Stacey Francis-Bayman on the side, all over anything that happens defensively. Talk to me.
Absolutely. Fever will be thrilled with that start, specifically the rebound by Fran Williams. They were leading the league in rebounds in the first half of the year, which I think would probably be unexpected with a shorter goalkeeper. Fran Williams at the top, so incredible intent from her and something they've absolutely needed to work on in the past few weeks.
Offensive contact on Beckford, picked up by the umpire just at the bottom of your screen there. So the Swifts a chance to swing things around off a Fever centre pass. Turner is Proud. Swift Centurion.
Oh, and bodies being thrown over, all over the court already. No surprise, it's Maddie Proud. She does love to get down there on the court, but it's huge having her back this week for the Swifts. It'll give them so much confidence. And as you can see, they're fairly happy to look into their circle early as well.
Now Sophie Fawns, 40 goals from her last week, having to step in to a 60-minute performance in the absence of Wallace Joseph. What can she do for the Swifts today? Big strong take in the air front position. And 82% accuracy, fairly formidable. Housby takes the penalty. You get the feeling that they'll want to get Housby with a bit of goaling rhythm early. 3 goals in 44 minutes last time they met, simply not good enough. Fowler decides to step in, good reach. Just the hand hitting the ball from Clow, creates the penalty.
Clow certainly has a big job on her today. She's actually 4th in the league at the moment for intercepts, but I feel like she's often underrated. Maybe it's because her team has not been performing particularly well this season, but she is going to be instrumental in trying to get as much ball back. As we can see there, another offensive contact.
So a couple called early in the game, umpires all over it. This will be a fairly tight tussle early as Clow gets the footwork going front position. Fever, though, will take the throw in. So early signs for Clow. It was good last week, 62 Nissan net points, 5 games, 3 intercepts and 6 deflections. But that one, simply too good to Fallon-Emma.
Have a look at that Harvey Norman replay there. Sarah Cloud just in front. She got a little bit of space and managed to get a hand to that ball. Just couldn't mop up the spill.
Terrific history between these two sides. Plenty of close encounters over the years. The Swifts. Oh, gee, unfortunate, because that was a great ball with depth on it to Proud, but the penalty will go back to Hadley with Housby. Fawns, like a holding shooter.
Yeah, that was a really strong take. She took it with two hands. Even though she was off balance, she still threw that contact. So he gets another shot.
Yeah, contact on the land. So as Ariang went to take the defence of the shot, it was as she landed that the umpires identified the connection with the arm of Fawns. Penalties. Sticks to Fever.
Look at Shanice Beckford. She's out on that first centre pass. She's taking that strong drive. She's doing her job so far this quarter.
So the Fever lead by 3 early in this opening quarter. They have been terrific starters of games for the first 6 odd games of the season. A little wayward in the last few. Teague Neal, contact. Swifts quick to get going through Smith to Hadley. Housby, this is good from the Swifts.
Possession goal attack.
International superstar in Helen Housby, looking confident at the post.
She's definitely got a point to prove today after last time, and I guess the last couple of weeks being a little bit more quiet. Expect a big game from her. Oh, huge high ball into Brown in the pocket.
Lucy Brown feeding with confidence early for the Fever. Both sides only taking a quarter each off their opposition last week. Sort of coming in with similar form lines. Sets this game up, doesn't it? That is not the pass from Proud, and a rare moment from such an experienced player. Fever, great defence from the Swifts. Somehow Anstis gets away. That is a get out of jail moment for the Fever. Quick transition through court. Well, quickly in the back of play, you saw Fran Williams and Jess Anstis connect and say, good God, what was going on there?
And sometimes that's what it's about. Sometimes it's not the player giving you the perfect pass. It's the catcher who makes you look good. And wow, Jess Anstis surely did that.
So another mini break and a 2-goal run for the Fever. They double the Swift score here, and look at the last 3. All green. Housby steadies.
Contact in defence.
Penalty outside. A little breathing moment here for the opposition. Housby, vision, straight for the post. I just want a camera on Housby. When she's in tune with a post, her shot technique is insane.
Yeah, it's so well practiced. It's just second nature for her. She has such a beautiful, clean technique. And look, she's 3 from 3 already. She's already shot more goals than she did last time, so she's got a point to prove.
Shooter-to-shooter connection, front space. Doesn't like the length of the shot, goes again into the back. So another contact there on Williams. Housby steadies. Interesting to see Fawns just finding moments to post up. Lovely coverage by Smith. Well, that's an Ellie Smith moment, completely smothered Teague Neal's move and left the Fever with nowhere to go. Important moment here for the Swifts in this game, and it is only the first quarter.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you look at the stats for the Swifts, they're actually ahead. They've got more average intercepts and more average deflections than the Fever. So if they can get plenty of ball, they're in with a chance today.
Hadley goes cross court to her partner in crime, Proud. Here's that front space again by Fawns.
Obstruction goal defence. Back with the goal defence.
Steps in, thinks about Housby, eventually finds it. So the New South Wales Swifts take 1 back here off the Fever and will importantly look to go 2 in a row. Housby. Into the pocket. What a feed from Hadley.
That was perfectly timed. Sophie Fawns just rolled off. The more we see her play, the better she gets. Unfortunately, she just couldn't finish that one off.
A couple of impressive glimpses from the Swifts in the last minute or so. Fawns out in the quick give. Well, that's what a moving circle does. We see it at the Lightning between Conan and Fretwell. And we're starting to see it between the Swifts circle. There's the Nissan net points, powered by E-Power.
Oh, that's a big goal. Turnover for the Swifts now. Maddie Turner with a big smile on her face off the back of that one.
Turnover by Turner, or turnover to Turner?
Turnover to Turner. Have a look here. Ball just coming off Kelsey Brown's hand. Oh, she's not happy with that one.
So trailing by 4, they've chipped back. Chance to bring the game back to 1 off this play. Proud finds Fawns again. And the Power 5 siren goes, and the Swifts now right up with the West Coast Fever 11-10. Everything now worth 2 inside the arc of the circle. Proud, big ball there, was very ambitious. Sunday Ariang in front position. The cut from Beckford, and then just too strong from Fowler Nemmard. So the moment stolen by the home side. And the Fever will return with the centre pass as the HCF tactical timeout called by the New South Wales Swifts, a sign that Bryony Akel is not going to let this game blow out at all. The second momentum shifted straight over. Let's hear from the coach.
Wait, so if she gets it, you don't hang line, you go the triangle. Just take them on. Then what about first phase? Go back. Let's look for each other a bit. Look over the mess. Remember to start opposite side to me, so when it lands left, you're ball side.
The one that I don't know what's not strong. She gets it and she's waiting for Sophie to come out, but then she doesn't get through. I feel like it's too late for me to go through.
Well, let's reset it.
Okay. But I think, Helen, you're
backpedaling
a bit. I think you need to take them on that.
Okay. What I was saying to you is don't overplay the first phase. All they want is the second, right? So you did a great job covering that. That was really good. And great coming up for that second one. So 2-point time. Let's try and force high and wide. High and wide. Do not let them get circle edge. Yeah? Great job. Keep it up. Really good stuff, Seth. Let's go. 2-point time here. We're forcing them back up court. Everyone do their
job. So there you go, some big words from
Let's go,
Bryony Akel. There's Ellie Smith. I want to talk to you, Caitlin. She's only sitting on 3 Nissan net points. Had a beautiful coverage of Teague Neald's move before. One of her best games of seasons gone by last week, 55 Nissan net points. For her, I just feel like she's coming to fruition at the right time. And we know last week, as a contact call goes straight on her, that's not a good highlights moment for you, young girl. They didn't make any changes last week, the Swiss, and I felt like that gave Smith the opportunity just to get her groove.
Yeah, that's right. It really is. Wing defence is, I think, the hardest position on court because you're against the fastest person on court, and you don't get a whole heap of the ball. Her job is to grind and set things up for the players behind her to look specky. So for me, I think really important off the back of that one, her job today is to stick with this game for 60 minutes. She might get little wins here and there, but it's what she can do for the ones behind her that really matters.
So the first Suncorp super shot of the game drops for Sophie Fawns. Brings them back to within 1. Look at the Fever, though. You can see they are also attacking the post early. So Fowler Nemmard slowly making her way over. So a good return for the Swifts, just coming out of their HCF tactical timeout. Trying to side Beckford instead. They go to the biggest scorer in the league. She's got to deal with a net that's a little off guard. So it's an obstruction call. So Beckford will take the penalty over the big hand of Turner. Terrific defence from Turner, and an even better rebound for the Swifts.
That was absolutely fantastic. The pressure that was put over that shot and then to work together to get that rebound, not an easy task to get it off Fowler Nemmard.
Katie-Ann Dehaney onto the quarters. The same time Beckford gets the deflection. Here go the West Coast Fever. Fowler Nemmard says, let's just take the single. So Fran Williams just having a rest. 2:45 on the clock to the difference. Housby loves it from here. What's her game going to be like today?
Well, it doesn't matter if she misses those. As long as they get the rebounds, we know how dangerous she can be when she gets that ball in her hand. She loves a super shot.
In a really good game, she averages 7 super shots. So keep your eye on that, folks, throughout today's 60 minutes. Slightly the angle, not always good from here, but today she is. Suncorp super shot drops and levels the score for the Swifts. Stacey Francis-Bowman.
You would argue that there's been a strategical change there to move Katie-Anne Dehaney back into the goalkeeper to put more pressure over the super shot. I don't think the pressure's been felt just yet, but people will be hoping to build that across the game.
Anything you can do? Fallon Emmard says, I will return serve. And the Fever shot out now again to a 2-point lead. Fawns Hadley in the pocket. Fawns alone over the hands of Ariang. Dehaney in the rebounding position and gets it. Here go the Fever. Teague Neal. Gee, blistering pace in transition. Oh, gee. Right spot. Brown. And then the offensive contact on Fallon Emmard. What me?
Shooters never do anything wrong. I don't know what you're talking about.
So an important moment here for the opposition. 1:15 to play out in the opening quarter.
Centre contact. Back.
Brown
Back with the
out of
centre.
play. Moving circle, have a look at it. Big split from Housby. Steadies with the one. Sinks it. So won the difference. West Coast Fever.
At the start of the game, I mentioned about penalties and how Swifts were 2 penalised. Oh, Sarah Clow, so close to that one. Swifts are currently 7 to West Coast Fever's 14 penalties. So they've really, really shut that down and are being so clean. Fever doubling theirs at the moment.
Great defence from the Swifts here, just forcing the Fever to work and work. Penalty, though, that releases the pressure. Beckford, this will be big. Nowhere near the post, the hustle for the rebound, and it's a contact on Clow. It's like a bowling pin moment, wasn't it? 14 seconds. Clow is far from thrilled.
Contact, yeah, step forward with her.
So Fallon Emmard slots in the one. 17 they'll be, and Maddie Proud is way too smart to know where the clock was at. So the first quarter wraps up and the Fever just get their nose in front. This is really setting itself up for an absolute rip here today. So we get ourselves back into the action right here at RAC Arena. A huge green army in the stadium as Maddie Proud trips over her own feet. We are so used to seeing her hit the deck because of somebody else. That one goes down in the book of classics. He has a book called Grace on the Court. That wasn't.
Yeah, and if we have a look at the reason why she's sitting on negative 2.5 missed net points, that was an amazing take. It's for the journal play turnover. She's got 3 to her name at the moment, and she's sat out for a few weeks. It is easy to get a little bit rusty, so she'll be tightening up on that this quarter. As we can see, she's leading the general play turnovers so far in this game with 3, followed by Beckford.
Teague Neal, vision for Fallon Emmard. Good little touch of the ball from Clow, but still lands in the hands of the shooter. I do like what Clow's doing so far in this game. Stacey Francis-Bowman.
Some really high work rate from Helen Housby so far in this game. They spoke at the quarter break about Housby keeping Ariang busy and out of the way of intercepts too, I imagine, as Fawns puts through that fantastic shot. But what I'd love for us to focus on now is Fever's second phase centre pass. Swifts are really pleased, as you saw there, that they're cutting off that second phase. Doesn't really matter though when you feed from the centre circle like that to Janelle Fowler.
Well, that was a good attacking passage by the Fever. Plenty of options, dragging defence everywhere. There's Proud. Oh, gee, well, that's a stepping call because there was no advantage contact call by the umpire in that moment. She hopped. Yeah, possession to the West Coast Fever. So certainly having some impact. Fran Williams back onto the court, so you could see the plan here by second on the ladder West Coast Fever.
With the goal attack.
Beckford lines up for her first of the game, falls short again. Clow, terrific
Oh, well, that was lucky. That fell the way of Fever because that shot was nowhere near going in for Beckford. She's yet to land one in this game so far, but lucky it just tipped the way of the Fever.
No easy feat to get a rebound off this lady. And I reckon Cloud's going to come up with one very soon. So a quick goal return for the Fever. Both across the line for the Swifts. They find Proud, and then the release through the middle from Fawns. Clever. Housby allows the ball to roll. Puts her in perfect shooting position. 5-3 scoreline this quarter. Brown up through the middle. Teague Neal, nice cut through the defence of the Swifts.
Oh, and happy just to be patient. That ball wasn't circle edge. They just kept working it until it opened up. Shanice being out so far draws Maddie Turner out as well. Makes the defence realise if they want to sit back double on Valanema, they can't do that and leave Beckford by herself.
Oh, quick little offload. Finding Housby on the angle. Falls short. Good rebound, though, by the English international. There's a smile on her face. Not an overly tall circle, is it? Down the right of screen. So anyone's in for a chance on the rebounds. 4-2 the way of the Fever. Big, strong take. Neil Fowler-Nemard, 21 goals, 96% at the moment. Terrific from the Swifts.
They're just so happy to let that ball go to one another, and just a little bit more knees needed on that shot from Sophie Fawns. But I guess without Samantha Wallace-Joseph now, they don't have that option of a tall posting shooter back in the circle. So they've really got to lean on that movement, and they're really happy to let that ball go early.
Oh, gee, the contact call drags the ball back out. It was with Fowler-Nemard under the post. Doesn't matter. They find her. Well, a better return from the West Coast Fever from where they were at last week. 3 of their players sat in negative miss and net points at the end of the game. And for the Swifts, certainly from a penalty perspective, looking a lot sharper. Or should we say maybe cleaner? Seventh goal for Fawns. You can see just the accuracy down for her, though. Housby certainly lifting today. Oh, ball from Kelsey Brown.
That was smart. She saw that the Swift defender, that Turner was coming out of the circle. She was going to have a crack at that. She bypassed it, went straight in.
To explain to the viewers at home, Caitlin Bassett, as we look at the Harvey Norman replay, we're right next to the cameraman that took that shot, and it was bird's eye, wasn't it? Brilliant.
It was perfect.
Another moment now for the West Coast Fever. Kelsey Brown certainly starting to find some of the form that she opened up season 2024 with. Marianne, Teague Neal. Brown, we've just been talking about it. Look, flying through every second ball. Kelsey Brown, 113 National League games. She's a 2-time premiership player. She loves the big games. And the West Coast Fever have just stolen a couple. And they've pushed the scoreline now out to 7, and that has again forced the hand of Bryony Akel. And as we can see, the bibs are being thrown up in the air. Tactical timeout, a HCF one. Let's head over to the huddle.
Right, keep that up. Dean. Let's go back to sitting one on. Yeah, 1-on-1. Let's go for the first 3 centre passes. Touch point. Not what's next at the moment. Let's go do the work on ours. If there's an opportunity to sag down the line, we do it. But we are 3 feet, stay disciplined, big hands. Don't look over the top. We want to try and get a tip on this ball. I think we're kind of gone away from the structure. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. But I just don't think we're executing far enough to make a difference. I need crowding. We're going to go 1-on-1. Yeah, you can go between hands to the double. They do not get out on the double. So let's have a really good angle. Don't get flat on that line. All we need is 1 tip here. Yeah, 1 tip. Lots of energy. Head touching, but not too far out. I reckon if she goes to the opposite side of the wall, go follow her. Don't sit on her.
Let's go. Here we go. Not follow her.
Yeah.
Let's remember the smiles here. Let's go. Oh, suspense. Big smiles. Here we go.
Big smiles, that's what they want. They also just want one tip. They're changing up some of their structure in the Swifts line, going back to one-on-one. We see Helen Housby as well dropping back into goal shooter and Fawns coming out into goal attack. So a couple of changes, just trying to change the momentum there in that attacking end for them.
27-20. And that'll make it 8 now, the difference. This is what the West Coast Fever did exceptionally well in the first round of the season. Their opposition under early pressure. There's Housby now in shooter. What does this do for the Swifts? We know the circle will remain as a moving circle, but what does the positional switch achieve for the opposition? Housby, though, continues her way at the post. 10 from 11. One super shot to her name.
Advantage contact, goal defense. Wing defense contact, you're grabbing.
Contact. That's a lovely high release from Teague Neal. Absolutely no one getting anywhere near that.
But both players are out.
And that's the danger of a penalty anywhere in that goal circle for Fever. It just releases the pressure. It opens everything up for them. They can't afford to be standing out of play.
Hadley is the net points up at 47 now, and then just a wayward ball. And Fran Williams doing the 1%ers in front. Beckford out wide, sights foul and Emmard straight away at distance. So it's interesting, I want you to talk through that because the umpire said immediately to Clow, you weren't the distance. She thought she was as foul and Emmard stepped in.
Yeah, it's interesting. We have discussions like this all the time about, well, she was 3 feet from her grounded foot, but it really is about hands making contact with the ball as well. You're not allowed to touch the ball. It doesn't matter how close someone is to you. So Sarah Cloud doing a great job of getting her hands up, but she just touched the ball then, which got her the contact.
Stacey Francis Bowman, someone standing right in front of you.
Absolutely, O'Shannon Z about to come into the game looking to have impact against one of the world's best shooters. Fever right now have an impact on their game to goal. They're number 1 in the league at 74%. They're over 80% in this game, and it's where you start to see that score ability open up for a West Coast Fever.
Good outside arm from Turner. So Clow just in the back of screen putting on the goal defence bib. I wonder if that then shifts Turner into wing defence. We've seen the back three, or the big back three for the Swifts come to fruition throughout the season. Is that the plan here from Akel?
Well, they just need ball, don't they? Have a look at the stats. They've got no intercepts. They've only got 1 deflection so far, so they just need to be affecting the Fever's attack line a little bit more. Someone who is doing a great job at the moment, though, is Fran Williams. She is having a go at absolutely everything. She's getting hands on ball. She's just being a menace down there in that goal circle.
Just a minute 20 away. Gee, big, long, ambitious, but somehow saves the day. Foul and Emmard. That was impressive for the fans. Straight away, Alice Teague Neal just looks at that lady right there. Might have just put a little bit much on that, overcooked. Oh, gee, coach killer for Hadley. Breaking, so the Fever another chance here. The gains, Williams 3. Teague Neal, just look at her her vision today for foul and Emmard would be frightening for the opposition.
Yeah, it is. She doesn't even need to be near the circle, and she's looking in. She can put the ball, it doesn't have to be pin perfect. She knows that Foul and Emmard is such a strong take of the ball that she can pull it in. But, you know, at times she can pull it back as well. She knows that when they need patience, they can work the ball to the circle edge.
Defense comes stand out of play with her.
So just being asked to stand out of play was Ali Smith. Sort of delayed Teague Neal getting on with things. Here's Lil Gorman-Brown. The wing defence bib in her hand, so we'll keep our eyes on that as well.
Yeah, and Grace White comes into goal attack for the Swifts, so another little change up there from Bryony, just trying to get a few more goals on the board.
So the Power 5 siren goes. Here's good news for Swifts fans. I had my eyes watching Grace White just in the warm-up as they come out to shoot at the post. She did not miss a goal the entire 10 minutes she was out here. Not a goal. No pressure on her, but anyhow, we'll see what happens.
Obstruction goalkeeper.
So Shaughnessy obstructs with inside the 2-point range. Beckford will be given the option to take the 1 or the 2. Of course she'll take the 2. Shanice Beckford lines up, hasn't hit one of these yet. That one doesn't go either. And the Fever, though, will take the throw in. So Beckford 0 from 2 in terms of super shot. Olivia Wilkinson sitting on the bench, certainly an option for Dan Ryan. Ellen Nemard, I just think she looks a different person today. She had her worst game of a few years last week against the Thunderbirds. Shot at 89%, it was horrific.
She just didn't get enough ball. I mean, 89% when we say that's horrific, but this is a woman who's shooting 98% for the season, so it is a fair drop-off for her. She's got a point to prove today.
Much needed for Helen Housby. She'll get another look at it, an obstruction on Ariang. She is the best in the business at doing just that. And Suncorp super shot drops. It is number 2 for her. $100 from Suncorp. For every Suncorp super shot that goes, we'll go to the Confident Girls Foundation. And with that in mind, we hope there's plenty of them today. 3 minutes to play out until we hit the big break.
Centre, contact. With her, step up, centre. Body's not out, centre.
Grace White. Sorry, folks. First miss of the day here at RAC. That's a replayed ball on Ariang. Housby quick to get on with it. 2 in a row. Not to be, and an important rebound for Sunday Ariang. Was a bit perplexed with the replayed ball. Mops up. Brown from one end to the other with speed, then just fakes the ball around and a quick and easy one in to her goal shooter. So 38 goals now for the West Coast Fever. 2 minutes 20 on the clock. And the first HCF tactical timeout is now called by Dan Ryan. Quick chat there with Shanice Beckford. Do we see Olivia Wilkinson coming here? Let's get inside the huddle and listen.
Backdoor again from one of you two guys. So deep starts Alison Shan. Just lock in the 1, so circle edge on it. On the next centre pass, let's jump a wall, irrespective, and sit up nice and high, all right? And then we're going to get you flooding and L flooding, all right? Shut down base on Helen. Base? Yeah. So guys, doing a bloody brilliant job. Just make sure last 3 minutes here, we're ultra disciplined in everything we're doing. Poise and composure with that real grit about our effort, all right? Amazing stuff. Let's go. Let's go. Close it all here. Circle edge, options and attack, okay? Viva, 1, 2, 3. Viva! Let's go.
Neil Fowler and Emma with the final words in the huddle. 35 from 36 at 97%. And this is the lady that's been given the task. And she's had her moments, hasn't she? Terrific footwork on that occasion, but the toughest job in the business today.
That's right, and you know, she has beautiful elevation. She's so athletic for someone who's so tall, and she's strong in the air, but at times she's just been out-muscled and balls haven't fallen her way. So when she gets off the body, she has a go and she gets a tip. They need to make sure the Swifts defenders are backing her up and chasing it up.
I was looking at her stats throughout the week. She's a little bit off where she's been in seasons gone by, but she certainly has been the best defender for the Swifts. So in a season that's been a little inconsistent, fair to say, Clough's certainly been doing as much as she can for her team. The West Coast Fever, meanwhile, are keeping the fans up and about in this stadium as Shanice Beckford gets in and steals that one. They steady across through the captain in Anstis. Ariang free. So using the width here, Beckford, Teague kneeled in the pocket, ignored. They go big, high and over the top to Fowler Nemard, and she is stacking on the goals.
Have a look here on this Harvey Norman replay. Shanice is so quick and also so small. I actually don't think the Swifts midcourt saw her in the mix there. They let the ball go and she just said, that will be mine, thank you very much.
Again, getting younger with every ball that goes her way is Fowler Nemard. 34 years of age, playing like a 21-year-old. The last 10 goals, green, 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 green. Broken now by a Swifts single digit, takes them to 27.
Bonus contact, goal defend.
Last minute here to play out till halftime. The Fever, 24 goals already this quarter. They have doubled the Swifts to 24-12.
Well, let's have a look there at that one. That was interesting. Was it a short pass, Sue?
Caitlin, you're the expert.
It was definitely a little bit confusing. And you know what? Ali Smith overran that ball, so it looked like there was plenty of space, but there actually wasn't. As Helen Housby, now's the two-pointer down the other end.
So that's third for her, and much needed. Hadley quick to Housby. So confidence to be direct here, but then they get held up by the Fever. Big to the pocket, Proud. Housby again, same spot. Same result, 4 points. As quick as that from the New South Wales Swifts back to 10. This game is never over. Look at that, the last 3 to the value of 4. Or to the value of 5, should I say. A single and 2 doubles.
Goal defend.
So a penalty after the siren. And it's not to be. Gee, the range just off today for Shanice Beckford. And won't worry her too much from the perspective of the scoreline, as the West Coast Fever have managed to push their lead out, which was 2 at quarter time, and now by 10. So a 24-16 quarter. So a change of positions in the middle. Proud to wing attack and Housby in, Proud to wing attack and Hadley in to centre. So the Fawns back onto the court. They've had all sorts of turmoil to deal with over the past few weeks. So what can the New South Wales Swifts do? Their head coach is down sideline, and I have no doubt this lady has had to deal with a lot in her career, but potentially not as much as the last few weeks. Bryony, thanks for joining us. I will open with this one. Are you just glad that it's all behind you and that you can get back to focusing on netball?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's been the biggest focus for us this week. We've got a great group, and we know that we've got to get on and play some good netball, and that's what we're here to do.
Bri, I had a look at your face during the halftime. I'm not very good at lip reading, but what were you telling the girls in the change rooms?
To be better. I think for us, you know, these mistakes that we're making is just basic errors in direct centre pass. So we just need to be better and believe in ourselves and bring that joy back into the game. And when we're playing like that, we're much better.
Bryony, you've been starved of ball with that first game coming right there in front of you. There was a little smile on your face, but do you feel like you can get a score back just through your super shot threats, or do you need to get interceptions as well?
Oh, we absolutely need to get ball through. You know, we can't rely on our 2-point shots to win us games. So, yeah, full defensive efforts required in this one.
Bryony, I don't envy you, mate, but you're doing a terrific job, and we know how good a club the New South Wales Swifts are. All the best.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. I think we can now put to bed the Samantha Wallace-Joseph dramas, and we can just let this club get on with what they do best. They are one of the most, if not successful clubs in the history of our great game. At the moment, though, the start of this quarter has seen a few errors which won't please the coach. 42-32. A couple of chances to get a few back. Not to be. Teague Neal held up. Beckford. Well, just loving the connection there with Fowler Nemard. And it's been certainly better than it was in terms of what we saw last week against the Thunderbirds.
Definitely more consistent. The work rate from Shanice Beckford has gone up another level. Not just what she's doing inside the circle, but outside the circle too. A beautiful juggle there from Fowler Nemard, just to finish it off underneath the post nicely. But just impressed with how they're attacking that post today. They have a focus, look long, and work it to the circle edge if it's not open yet.
So Proud finds her way through the double defence. Fawns up the middle. Terrific release this moving circle has from the Swifts. Fawns again. 10 from 14. That will be her 11th. Accuracy slightly down, but she's returned to the court with some confidence at the post. Beckford sights. Double defence now, sitting back on Fowler Nemard. A couple of times in this game we've seen Brown just be patient and then use the ball to shift the defence and just open up the front space for for this lady.
Yeah, look, both the Swifts defenders, they're looking at every opportunity. They know they need to win some ball back at the moment. And as we can see there, Fowler Nemard, she is on 44 goals. She is the most accurate and the most prolific on court at the moment. So they need to do something different if they're going to try and win some ball off her.
Housby.
Contact goal defense. Back in the 2.
So Ariang draws the penalty. 6 for her today. Too high. Swifts make that one count.
Contact goal shooter.
It's Anstis. Does a huge amount of work for the Fever. She is again. Ariang cutting through off the one leg. Brown saves the moment. Teague Neal. Well, terrific transition once they got going there, the West Coast Fever playing with speed.
Swift's doing a really good job at slowing up the Fever attack end, but they're just letting go a second early. I feel like it's 2 second, 2.5 second defence, and then it's just opening up on the last.
Horns again up through the middle corridor. Oh, gee. Nearly handed the ball to the opposition captain. Offside the call. Housby covered. Fran Williams quick, but then Proud even quicker just to get on. Oh, no goal is scored. So the offensive contact called on Fawns. Just pushing at the back of play when the shot was being taken. And works hard to try and get ball back. Deflection, but the throw in with the Fever. Here's Anstis again. They have to open up the far side of the court. So great defence here from the Swifts, really making the Fever work.
Well, and that just releases the pressure, doesn't it? Paige Hadley there, she's experienced. She knows that she needs to be clean. And look, that's just delivered the ball into the Fever circle, hasn't it, Sue?
It's been the story of the season for the New South Wales Swifts, the most penalised side coming into this game. It's one thing to have a penalty, but it's the timing of it and where it happens on the court. And that's one where you've got to pick and choose. So Teague Neal now will get to set a penalty up, and as she walks back, she just sights the circle to see what's happening. The 2-on-1 and set beautifully. Helen Emmard takes another one. Stacey Francis Bayman.
You've got to feel for Swifts in that moment. We were asking for them to put variety out there on the defence. They did. They changed it up to a box. We then compliment Fever on their discipline to play to goals slowly, as opposed to the Swifts forcing Fever into a different style of play. It's a catch-22 as a coach. Are you happy with them slowing the Fever down? Are you happy with them letting Fever score quickly? What do they do?
Very good points made by a former West Coast Fever player, and there's a moment, a deflection for the Swifts. So every one of these now critically important to turn to a goal. Housby round into the pocket, a little congested. They go the high road though to Fawns, and there's one. So these are the key moments in games. This is where we talk about shifting momentum. Turning the opposition ball over and now trying to convert the next. Fawns up the middle. Proud, free at the pocket. They've forced to go backwards, so patience required.
Fawn's just really happy to force her way into that front. She's really following the ball. What I'd love to see is for her and Helen Housby work together, maybe make a screen and make some more use of the circle, because they really are just chasing ball at the moment.
2 in a row for the Swifts. Scoreline back to 11. Coverage by Cloud then of Beckford on that first phase. Gee, very lucky, just the contact on Fowler Emmard as she was juggling the ball.
That's another one on the ball. So it's not the fact that she's obstructing, Fallon Emmard is stepping into the space, but it's when Sarah Cloud touches the ball that she's getting that penalty.
Would be very disciplined in keeping their hands up and straight. The obstructions, Cloud with 3. Fran Williams, well, she's been pestering all day on that movement. You called it earlier, Caitlin Bassett, and she comes away with it. So the West Coast Fever haven't got out of the goal third yet. They remain with possession. That's their 5th pass eventually cross the line. Still a long way to go to get to post. I know the importance. Oh, gee, good attempt by Turner. Teague Neal takes O'Shannessy on the back. And then when they break through in this third, it's almost too hard at times, isn't it?
Yeah, they're trying everything to try and disrupt the ball, and sometimes they're getting close, but they're just not consistently getting their feet around. Sometimes they're chasing and they're in follow mode. They keep going. That's what we love to see. They keep trying. They keep having a crack.
Patience under pressure for the Fever. Brings up the half century. The Nissan net points. Powered by E-Power Fowler Nemad. Sitting at 93. On her way to another big number. Leads the Nissan net points throughout the league. And there's the first wayward moment from Kelsey Brown. And the first not taken high ball from Fowler Nemad that she's been put at stretch. The Swifts now transition. Hand from Beckford. She's been a menace defensively. Clow works quickly with Hadley. There's Fawns on the strong lead up the middle.
Confidence to put that ball in the air over Sunday, Ariane. Oh, and she just couldn't land that one. That's a killer.
Big rebound by Fran Williams. She told Stacey Francis Bayman in the interview how important that was. The non-negotiables. So the Fever into attack again. Brown, the culprit of that last pass, this time straight to the face. The 5-time league MVP, this lady set the penalty. Slotting goal number 48 right on the power 5. So 14 now the difference. Fever leading this quarter by 4, once again stretching their lead out. And then it's the coach, Dan Ryan, that calls the HCF tactical timeout for the Fever to sharpen the tools for the Power 5. Let's listen in to the man himself.
All right, so try and have deeper starting position where you can bring her somewhere, right? So you're not getting too high up near the ball. Deep start and then get your speed going, but when you're going, you're really going. So you're actually trying with that purpose to get the ball, not just running in and out, all right? So purposeful movement, change of pace, all right? Just going to get Shani to have a few more deeper starts, and then she's really going to come with speed. Just in general play, all right? So get her a little bit more depth in her game, and then her speed of punch onto you, all right? It's a bit of a change of pace in there, all right? Okay, everyone in, guys, everyone in. Okay,
doing his work there. This is Kelsey Brown.
This 5-minute block is really important.
So she's been impressive, Caitlin Bassett, hasn't she? Right from the very get-go, her connection with Fowler Nemad was on song. You could just see that confidence was there to release.
It's the speed that she moves at. It takes defenders with her when she goes. And when she gets that ball, she just looks straight in the circle. She knows that's her number one job, is feeding and looking in. But what's impressed me tonight has been just the dynamic work she's done, and it's not just been one move, it's been 2, it's been 3 to open up that attacking end.
Yeah, good defensively as well. We certainly are not used to seeing Kelsey Brown in years gone past in that centre position, so she's had to certainly grow a game defensively, and you can see combining well with Jess Anstis. And right on cue though, she gets to take a rest as Jordan Bransberg comes onto the court in the bright oranges. Gorman Brown also now in at wing attack. Maddie Proud goes to the bench as the Suncorp super shot drops. And an important one again, every one of those for the Swifts. Bransberg. Gee, quick to release that one, wasn't it? Confidence to Teague Neal. Thoughts on the changes, Caitlin?
Yeah,
for
look,
the Swifts?
yeah, interested to see Maddie Proud come off. You know, I think, you know, she's returning from a knee injury, so that might be pretty smart. Add some fresh legs in there, Lily Gorman-Brown, but the real pressure now is on the super shot, and they can't do stuff like that. They need to make sure they're delivering the ball into safe hands.
Big, quick transition from the Fever. Kransberg, impressive. And then look at that, the little shooter-to-shooter from Fowler Nemad to Beckford. The miss, gee, the radar. For Beckford, not there. She's got one of the best in the business. Doing the offensive rebounding for her. Look at that 8-3. Clow, again, decision-making on those contests outside the circle, now starting not to pay off.
And I think as goal defence, you need to be smart, because if you're out of play outside the circle, you're leaving a 2-on-1 in the circle, and that's really, really hard to beat as a defender.
Just crammed at the top, trying to find space into the arc. They're there, but don't like the setup. Again, same spot this time. Sights the post immediately with confidence, goes forwards and drops another Suncorp super shot. That's her third from 4 attempts. I mentioned 40 from 49 from her last week was an absolute shooting target for the Swifts. As is this lady right here tonight. Norman Brown to the speed. So impressive to come on the court, got some energy to burn. Same again. Same result. Big rebound from Fran Williams. Well, we're starting to see why she's one of the best at it in the league. Well, gee, didn't know where to go, found Ariang. How have you seen Ariang's game to date?
I think it's grown. I think last time these two teams played, Ariang was an absolute star, but tonight it's really been Fran Williams that stepped up. In saying that, it's not that Ariang's not doing her job. She is wearing Helen Housby like a glove, but she's just not picking up as much ball. It's being created further back.
Gransberg straight into the back of Hadley, right while the umpire's eyes were on the move. Picked up, that is contact, textbook. So the Swifts into attack. Clout, big lead from Housby up the middle. Good little cut from Lil Gorman-Brown. Contact from the arm from Anstis. Fawns loving this left-hand side, 45-degree angle for 3 from here. And again, Sophie Fawns starting to cement her name in this starting 7. She is the future for the Swifts.
Yeah, have a look at that shot chart. She loves that position. If you're a Fever defender, do you almost stand there and stop her, force her into somewhere different?
Well, you know how good Helen Housby can be at the same time. Here's the lady with the hot hand. Well, she's bringing the Swifts back into this game. 45 now, back to 11 the difference. Suncorp super shot. And the Swifts know what to do with it, don't they? West Coast Fever, though, they can just keep this scoreboard ticking along, and that's all they need to do at the moment. Last 35 seconds to play out. They're leading this quarter, should I say. Fawns. Caitlin.
Look at those super shot attempts. 9 to 13. Make that 10 to 14 now. Sophie Fawns, she has a hot hand.
Big fly from O'Shannessy. Well, this has been an impressive super shot period from the New South Wales Swifts, and we've always known what they're capable of. So 7 seconds on the clock here for the Swifts to score. Gee, find Fawns, please. Anstis the contact. Well, smart, 2 seconds. And the buzzer will beat the Swifts, but that lady there on screen has come to life. 6 from 8. We are in for a big final 15 minutes. That was quarter time, brought to you by Origin Energy. 11 the difference. And if the New South Wales Swifts can get some hand on ball early here, anything is possible. That's what they've got to stop, though. The direct line to foul and Emma. One change for the Fever, Katie Ann Dehaney, starting in at goalkeeper. Maddie Proud still on the bench for the Swifts. Hadley with 48 Nissan net points. Housby, good swing, opening up the width. Patiently waits. There's some good connections for the Swifts.
And some great space there in the circle for Helen Housby to really get free and get some ball off the body. It has been tightly contested in that circle. There's been a fair bit of push and shove from both sides, but to see that space, it's every goal shooter's dream.
Instruction on Turner again. I just feel like that's the area for the New South Wales Swifts to improve defensively. Just off the circle edge. So blow for blow, and the West Coast Fever will be content with that, just to try and keep the Swifts at bay. And then we get down to the last 5 minutes. God forbid.
Yeah, they've really had to weather the storm. The Swifts came back hard in that last quarter, and one of my criticisms early on in the pre-game was their consistency, and that second quarter has really hurt them, 24-16. They've come back so hard in the third, but what can they do in the last? They need to have a huge, big last quarter.
Beckford running out the full 4 quarters here. Well, at least at the moment, takes the cut, draws O'Shannessy. Now drops in, but Fowler Nemard just doing everything she can for the Fever here today. Goes 60 to her name. That's up where she plays her best netball. Hadley has to wait. Little hand from Anstis. The hustle goes to Housby. So it'll be inside the circle, the penalty set. Eyes only for the post. Helen Housby, 14 from 15 and 3 from 5 in the super shot. Doing the job today. I'll tell you what, Turner's not far off that.
And that's why she's going for it, because she thinks she can get a hand. Like, it's 1 millimetre difference, and that ball is hers.
In saying that, though, and it's an interesting one, because if you're in defence centre in that moment, you're always thinking about, is it the right or the wrong thing to do? But what Fever are doing well is their strength of take, which is drawing the contacts.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you've got 1 player or 2 players. We're seeing all the Fever players out there on court just taking it and ripping that ball in strongly.
So we are 4 apiece these first few minutes. Anstis up on the 1 foot. Teague kneeled out wide. Goes again. Look at the 2-on-1 on Fowler Nemard. Doesn't matter, says Jordan Kranzberg. Threads the needle. Good movement from the Swifts. Nice and crisp and direct. Steps in from Fawns.
Clarification there from Fran Williams. It was the second jump that she touched the ball, because she was within distance the first time that Sophie Fawns stepped in.
Contact on Housby. I just want to explain to everyone at home how this stadium feels at the moment. It feels like it's full of nervous energy. Almost sitting out the first 10 minutes because they know what the Swifts are capable of in the final 5. There's a little bit of a lull. MC's trying to get them up and about. Fever are just chipping along, doing their business, as are the Swifts, but they need to make some inroads. That's not one of them. That's
not going to help, is it? And beautiful defence there. I love it when attacking players turn over the ball. It's already halfway down the court. So much easier to finish off.
Big shift in the game gone by, hasn't it? The importance of 7 attackers and 7 defenders on a netball court. Kira Austin pops to mind as one of the best in the business. Taking over from the great Sherelle McMahon. No one was better at it. Being an attacker and then just stealing ball in defence. Another one for the Fever. And pushing the score difference now. 14 the margin. 3 in a row. Oh, gee, big was that from Jess Anstis.
She got up nice and high. Unfortunately, ball just tipped out of court, but that was a great challenge. She had Fran Williams backing her up as well.
Patience for Housby on that pass, just waiting for Fawns to do the work to open up the defence.
Yeah, have a look at this ball. Jess Anstis flew. She was off the body. She did such a good job to get her hand to that ball, and well, it's finished off as equally nice down the other end.
Fran Williams back onto the court, gets the roll on Fawns. Captain standing up for the Fever. There's another co-captain, Hadley. It's been good today. Contact from Anstis coming in to try and intercept the ball. Got the angle wrong. Fawns, quick hands. Well, there's the confidence, not even interested in what Housby's doing, just going straight to the post.
Yeah, and she needs to. Have a look here at this contest. Just a little bit late there from Jess Anstis and collects the shoulder, but Sophie Fawns just needs to get that ball and turn and shoot whenever she gets it. They can't waste any more time here.
65, just a simple basket of goals for Fowler Nemard. Gee, that just means only 3 contributions from her partner in crime, but why would you need to when you've got a lady that's just absolutely firing today? That was fired right out of court, wasn't it, by Housby? Contact now on Fawn, so they get going, the West Coast Fever. Williams sides the options, goes again. Teague Neal strong up the middle. And then Ariane cleverly, the give and go. Then Kransbeck, how good has her vision been since she's come on the court?
Very, very smart play. She looked to Beckford quickly. She used the fake and then it opened up the back Fowler Nemard. She's a very, very smart player, is Jordan Kransbeck.
It's the net points powered by the Power 128. He's our leader today. Courtesy of some 66 goals, just 1 miss. Well, Stacey Francis Bowman, there was just an enormous cheer in the stadium. What's going on?
West Coast Fever breaking all sorts of off-court records in 2024. A record attendance crowd of 11,267. Probably Green fans, to be honest, in RAC Arena tonight.
11,267. They broke their attendance record the last home game. They've taken it a step better. Well, this club is flying at the moment. HCF technical timeout called by the home side. Let's get inside the huddle.
Really, really good. All right, so keep our aggression here. Centre pass by centre pass, moment by moment. Everything starts with our active dead ball time, all right? And we're looking forward for each other each time, letting that ball go when it's on. Really good stuff. You are siding Jay perfectly. Well done. So keep finding those little pockets where you might have the driver hitting you, or it's nice and direct into Jay. Keep ripping that circle. Great stuff, Shani.
Coming back in.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Well done. Okay, guys, everyone in. Again, really important test of our laser focus to stay on task here, all right? So scoring up our own centre pass with discipline through really great work rate and basic skills, put them under all sorts of pressure in defence. Let's find one more grit moment. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Viva! Let's go.
Well, interesting to hear. Dan Ryan, plenty of compliments for Shanice Beckford, loving the job that she is doing out there and the focus and attention that she has in giving that ball to her shooting partner in Fowler Nemard. I think she's been having a great game. She maybe hasn't been as damaging on the scoreboard herself, only sitting with 2 goals to her name, but she doesn't need to be when she's got Fowler Nemard putting up 66 shots herself.
16 goals is the margin. That was the score at the margin, should I say, when they last met in round 4. Fever with the victory. So the Swifts with some work to do. 7 minutes to play out. Let's get straight into Stacey Francis Bowman. How was the Swifts huddle?
Incredibly passionate time out there by Bryony Akel. It says something about the confidence and belief that she has in her team, that she knows that they can bring this game back to a win. They've got those super shot threats, but defensively she wants them to keep disciplined, force wide and have repercussive attempts to try and win ball.
It's been an intriguing game, hasn't it, coming into this week, because both sides had some real storylines to play with. The Swifts, we know, have had the tough off-court dramas. Great ball from Housby. For the West Coast Fever, their biggest loss in 5 years. Big rebound goes. There'll be a contact on Fran Williams, to Fran Williams. So both with so much to play for, just one executing it a little better than the other at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, and I don't think you should take for granted how easy it is to lose confidence as a West Coast Fever. This team is still quite new, and the 2 losses have been really significant. So whilst they're sitting quite healthily on the table as far as a Swifts and the rest of the league are concerned, they're still building, and it's easily shattered.
And that goal just might shatter a little bit of confidence out of the break for the Swifts. They go again here, the Fever. Beckford and Teague Neal. Again, direct in. What a day it's been for Fowler Nemard. Heading towards the 7-0, sitting at 69 at the moment.
Oh, that was a disappointing turnover there from Sophie Fawns. I feel like the Swifts, they're just building, but every time they get an opportunity, they're just wasting it. unfortunately there for that one. Fran Williams is having a great game tonight. Sophie Fawns has been great at times, but it's just the consistency in the pressure moments that's costing them.
So another return. Oh, gee, you had to really work for it. The scoreline up now to 74 and right on the power 5. So the Swifts have got nothing to do but just to go long. They'll try to find Fawns as often as possible. She's been the hot hand. And the Fever just need to keep the scoreline ticking.
Fawns just so far outside the circle then, leaving it open for Helen Houseby at the back. And another rebound opportunity for Williams, but it falls the way of Swifts.
Yeah, absolutely. On the circle edge, Lil Gorman-Brown, and Fawns goes again. Well, you just got to have confidence that they're going to fall. Suncorp super shots, well and truly needed for the team in red. Cransberg hits the circle, high release. They're trying to set up Beckford. Covered by the Swifts defence, then they take the single instead. 18-8 this quarter for the West Coast Fever. This is a little about the inconsistencies at the moment we've been talking about from the Swifts. Houseby needed, goes again, finds the middle beautifully. Another 2 to the scoreline. And here's a moment, so Turner gets a little win. It's a contact on Beckford, and Olivia Wilkinson rolls onto the court in the moment. Sneaks in through the top. Houseby with no pressure on her shoulders. And the Swifts are going to squeeze this scoreline in this last quarter. (76-61) is the score. 76-61. Make that another couple. So 76-63. The Swifts flying here at the moment. They've got no choice, have they, Caitlin?
They don't, they really don't. We can see in the background play, Katie-Ann Dehaney's coming on for the Fever, and the real option is for the Swifts to get that ball and to shoot. And this is a statement game from the West Coast Fever. They've turned around a huge, huge loss last week. They've come out firing today. They would have been very disappointed. And while Swifts, we know, have been in quite some turmoil themselves, they really have just failed to capitalise at times. So a little reshuffle there for the Fever defensive lineup. We now see Fran Williams go head-to-head with her English mate, Helen Houseby.
Yeah, great hustle from Fawns. Took the shot, ran the width of the goal circle, got the rebound, now finds the ball again. Having a day today is Sophie Fawns, as super shot number 7 drops for her from 9 attempts. Terrific stuff. Wilkinson, high with foul and Emmard. No need to excite the crowd. They just keep it ticking along. The Fever have set this up from the very first centre pass. They've been clinical this game. 1:40 to play out. Turner down the side. Gorman-Brown, Fawns on the lead. So the defence still solid here from the Fever. Houseby patiently goes back to Smith. Well, it's all about the super shots for the Swifts, and they know it. There's Houseby, just sets a little bit of rhythm up to the shot. The knee bend, hits the front, but it rolls forward. Well, it's a big last quarter, isn't it? They brought this scoreline right back. It's a minute on the clock.
Oh, have a look at this. Swifts get another opportunity now. They're going to need to work this ball quickly down the court with only 50 seconds left on the clock, and that will be slowing up the time as Olivia Wilkinson just chipped a little penalty, and another one now here from Teague Neal.
Well, the Venga bus has gone in the stadium here at RAC Arena. That is the confidence that they've got the game. The Green Army are on their feet. They're not too worried about how many super shots drops. That one again lands desperately in the hands of Fawns. They've been brilliant in this last quarter. the New South Wales Swifts, but the game has been set up, as we said, for the West Coast Fever. 9 the difference. Gee, they fought unbelievably to get this. It's been super shot after super shot. They'll get one more look at it. The hot hand of Sophie Fawns. They go again. Brilliant stuff from the New South Wales Swifts, but the game lands in the hands of the West Coast Fever. They bounce back, they respond, and they take victory here in Perth.